Hello and welcome to Top Line. I'm Rick Klein from ABC News.
And I'm Olivier Knox from Yahoo News.
And our guest today is Mary Burke, the Democratic candidate for governor in Wisconsin, one of the tightest races and most closely watched races in the nation. Thanks for being here.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Let's start with jobs, the #1 issue in your campaign. And you've come under attack recently on the airwaves. Governor Walker pointing out that your family company, Trek Bicycles, some 99% of the production is going on overseas, in China primarily.
Mary, quite contrary. How does your fortune grow? By making millions of dollars, sending jobs overseas that could have been done in Wisconsin.
Is this a legitimate line of attack in your view? It sounds a lot like what Democrats said about Mitt Romney in terms of outsourcing.
Well, what surprises me about it is that a sitting governor would drag a great Wisconsin homegrown company through the mud for politics. And as governor, I want to make sure we're focused on the issues of jobs and how we're going to create more jobs.
But isn't it legitimate to ask where those jobs are?
Well, of course it is, but Trek employs nearly 1,000 people in Wisconsin. In addition to that, it buys goods and services from other Wisconsin businesses, which creates more good-paying jobs in the state. And frankly, it's an example of a great Wisconsin company that was founded there, that has grown there, that is a worldwide leader, and contributes a lot to the state's economy and good-paying jobs.
You've seen the polls. You've seen that President Obama is not a very popular person nationwide. Can he help you in any way? Do you want him to come help you?
Well, I think this race is going to be decided by the people of Wisconsin getting to know me as a candidate, the type of governor I'm going to be, the values that I'm going to use, and how I'm going to lead this state forward. Because under Scott Walker, we're dead last in the Midwest in terms of job creation. That's
not exactly rolling out the welcome mat, though, for the titular head of the party. Why can't he come and help you and help Democrats in the state?
Well, I'm not saying that he couldn't, but I am focused on going to make sure that the people of Wisconsin get to know me.
Another thing we hear from Democrats across the country, the war on women, people talking about abortion rights, contraception. Is there a war on women in your view? As a female candidate running against a male candidate, is it something that female voters should be concerned about?
Well, absolutely. And I didn't get into this to, carry the flag for women. I'm running in order to make sure that we are able to move Wisconsin forward and lead the country instead of lagging the country. But what we have seen under Scott Walker is an attack on women. One of the first things that he did was repeal our equal pay protections. And then throughout the years, we have now seen more attacks on women's choice issues, from mandatory ultrasounds to waiting periods. These are all things that are messing with women's right to make our own health care choices.
You also have a difference of opinion with Governor Walker on Obamacare.
This whole thing is just a mess, and it gets worse every day. I was against Obamacare. I didn't do a state exchange. I didn't take the Medicaid expansion. In the end, there's real people falling through the cracks, and that's the frustrating part.
It's a fairly deep difference of opinion. If you're elected, what would you do about the state's relationship with the Affordable Care Act?
Well, what I'm going to do is make sure that we put common sense ahead of the politics, and we're going to be focused on what is going to reduce the cost of health care. And as I travel around the state, it's one of the biggest issues that I hear. And unfortunately, I hear stories of people, entrepreneurs with families, 2 kids, and they're going without health insurance right now. That's a real problem. So what Scott Walker has done by turning down the Medicaid expansion is actually making health care more expensive in Wisconsin and throwing people off of their health care.
And finally, do you believe that if Governor Walker wins, he turns around and runs for president? And would you like to see him make an ironclad commitment to the voters of Wisconsin that he would serve a full 4 years?
Well, he certainly has waffled on that. He hasn't told the people of Wisconsin whether he would serve or not serve. But I am focused on making sure that I win this race. It's looking good. The polls are tied. I'm leading by 1 point among likely voters and feel very confident about prospects for November.
All right. Mary Burke, Democratic candidate for governor of Wisconsin. Thanks for being here. Good luck with the campaign.
Well, thanks for having me.
That does it for this edition of Top Line. You can watch us all week long at abcnews.com and at Yahoo News. For ABC, I'm Rick Klein.
For Yahoo News, I'm Olivier Knox.
As always, thanks for watching.